Welcome to Porthcawl, where the Sea Cadet Unit is celebrating its 75th anniversary in 2018. Porthcawl Sea Cadet Unit's got a rich history. We invited Stuart Bentley, director of the Harbour project, and his father George, one of the original Sea Cadets, to come along and tell us a bit more about the history of the unit.
Good evening, my name's Stuart Bentley, son of George Bentley, who's sitting opposite me on the table, and we're here tonight to have a quick chat and discussion about the Sea Cadets and the history of the Sea Cadets and how it all started in Porthcawl. And my grandfather came back down to Porthcawl in 1942, helped set up the Sea Cadets in the original location, which was on Cozy Corner, in a shack which unfortunately blew down in a hurricane one night, and they had to relocate. We'll have a quick chat about the TS Seaflower that was set up, we think around the 1948 period or late 40s. I'd like to ask my father a few questions, so just to find out a bit more about my grandfather James Bentley, who was affectionately known as Chiefy Bentley by the Sea Cadets, and I think he struck fear and excitement in some of the Sea Cadets at the time. Yeah, it'd be good to find out a bit more about my grandfather, who I'd never met, and to find out about the history of the Sea Cadets that we're trying to relocate in our new building, and we'll be heavily involved in that right from day one. So over to my father, and so how did your father, my grandfather, get started in the Sea Cadets?
When he first came down, as you obviously said, he was in the Coast Guard service, and he was approached probably by Mr. Glenton, who was the commander of the Sea Cadets, because of his seamanship that he'd been in the...
Mr. Glenton being the person there?
That's right, yes,
yeah.
That's him. Because Dad had been in the 1418 war, the Battle of Jutland, and knew his seamanship inside out and upside down, you name it, he could do it. And they thought he'd be the right one for the job of being Chiefy of the Sea Cadets.
Yeah, and Chiefy means...
Chief Petty Officer.
Chief Petty Officer, yeah.
He loved his Sea Cadets, and every Tuesday and Friday he'd be getting himself spit and polished up and ready. And
I believe it's still Tuesdays and Fridays, they still meet, and I think they're there tonight. I can see the lights on over the Sea Cadets building, so
that's right.
They're still going strong on a Tuesday and Friday, I think.
That's right. And of course, with the Sea Cadets, Mrs. Glenton and my mother, they used to open a little canteen. There was a little building just to the right of the round tower up there. Oh, right. I think that's gone now. Yeah. And that used to be a little canteen, and you could have your faggots and peas or your ham sandwiches or whatever. Yes, indeed.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so everybody was involved, really.
Yeah. You obviously got involved in the formal occasions as well, with especially post-war with the Armistice Day and so on.
Oh yes, I mean
you can see some of the photographs obviously show. That was one
right,
which is on the Esplanade, coming past the Marine Hotel.
That's correct, and we went down then to the pavilion, and dressed it overall, as you can see on this one here.
Yeah.
A little precarious. I wasn't the best believer in height, but I'm up there somewhere on one of these.
I think you were the one on the right, actually, because I think I picked that out on the photograph. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bit hair-raising, but all the Sea Cadets were great lads, and a lot of them went into the Navy, of course,
Was it a precursor to going to the Navy, do you think? Do you think it helped in those times?
Oh, very much so, I think, yeah. Most of the boys are really, keen about it. I mean, when they had the motor torpedo boat in the harbour, 120-footer, which took up most of the harbour, the boys used to go down there and spend weekends on there, scrubbing and cleaning, and
So it was moored in the harbour.
Oh, it was, yes, right in the centre of the
120
harbour. Yeah, motor tooth.
We've got a photograph here. I think you showed me earlier on of the harbour, and you said that you think they were called a pinnace.
I think it was a pinnace, yes. These were canvas covers here, which you could lower down,
Yeah.
And it was a spoke wheel then.
Yeah.
You had to face forward and have the spoke behind you.
Right.
So you could steer the craft properly. And many adventures in that. Well, towards Ogmore, the beaches there, there'd be a combined thing with the Army Cadets and the Sea Cadets, and we'd land them on the shore, and sometimes we'd take part as well.
Acting as Marines?
Yeah, as a rear guard action sort of thing. all sorts of weird things
good.
going on.
I noticed there's some group photographs here of, I think these were trips to various locations around the UK as well? Or?
That was a shot of all the boys there, well, as many as they could take, I suppose, up in Bridgington.
Yeah.
I don't know how long we stayed there, I can't quite remember. But as you can see, there's a good crew there.
Yeah.
And we had a whale of a time there. We go out in the sailing and all this sort of thing, you know. Very nice. Everyone enjoyed it, except for the food. Food wasn't too clever, but there we are.
In those days, it was rationed food as well, I thought. So
that's what you get.
It was in scarce supply, I suppose, in those days.
Put up with it, yeah.
But so in 1942, you came here to obviously set up the Sea Cadets, and then when the shack blew down, they got relocated, I think, somewhere around the other side of the Jennings at one point, didn't they? Jennings building?
No, I don't think so.
Or
no, it was the eastern wall where they put the TSC flower up, you know.
Oh, right. Yeah, just on the eastern breakwater.
That's right.
So that was, as we say, probably around 1948.
I think so.
Late 40s.
My mind gets a bit fuddled about that, you know. But I know I was there, but I can't remember the date. But that was the armed guard with Sir Robert Webber.
Yeah.
And Mr. Glenton, my father.
Yeah.
Myself and the rest of the crew there as an armed guard.
Mr. Purchase and
yes, Dennis Purchase.
And a few others there. I think we've
Eddie
got
Davis was there.
Some of the people that
These ones off. Yeah.
were on duty that day.
Sir Robert Webber, my father James Bentley,
Yeah.
Mr. Williams, R&R, and well, George Glenton, his name was Mr. Glenton, you know.
Yeah.
And some of them were unknown, but there was Des Phillips, David Rawlins, Ronnie Wright, who's still in Porthcawl.
Yeah.
Austin David, I'm afraid he's passed on. He's here on the.
Mr. Rawlins has passed on as well, isn't he?
Yes, yes, afraid so. Eddie Davis, who still I see around town.
Mm-hmm.
Dennis Purchase.
Lives down New Road, I believe.
He does, yeah. Dennis is still there, but I can't remember all of them. But that's a good smattering of them.
Good crew there.
Oh yes, indeed. Yeah.
But so after the building was set up, obviously, unfortunately, my grandfather died quite young. So how long?
57-year-old he was when he died.
57. She's my age now, really. So just
Vic Davis used to visit him when he was ill, you know.
Yeah.
And he used to say, "Come on, Chief, you'll be out in the spring." He said up and about, but it wasn't to be.
Yeah. But yeah, so it was good. And I remember you telling me a story when you're on parade in Bridgend outside Town Hall.
I wasn't there myself, but he had a parade going on in Bridgend with the Sea Cadets. And of course it was a market town, and lots of animals about at the time. And Dad called the squad to attention, and they came to attention, turned around and ran. And he said, "Get back here, get back here." No, they were away. And when he looked round, a bullet escaped from the mark and was charging down the road. I think Dad overtook the Sea Cadets, didn't they? That was a funny incident, and it's been talked about all over the world in one of the cuttings that Mr. Glenton wrote about. Yeah. You know. And he said it's from Darwin or anywhere in the world. He said they talk about this escapade of Dad's. You know. We used to have a whaler and a cutter before all this other stuff came along. Yeah. And you had to go out and row. Now, I don't know if it was the whaler or the cutter, the oars are so heavy, they had the double bank. You know, they had two Sea Cadets on one oar because they were so heavy to handle. And when you came in, you had to ship oars. Yeah. Bit of a fight going on to lift them up, you know.
Yeah. Building over at, which is called TS St David now. Mm-hmm. There was a time, I believe, that the unit was going to be called after Chiefy Bentley at one point, but
there was, but
unfortunately,
when my mother found out who the dignitaries were going to attend in this house, she said, "No, thank you very much, not to be." So, great Dad didn't get his name in white.
T.S. Bentley at one point, but that was really funny.
There we are.
But the building hasn't changed at all over the years, obviously, and it's still the same now as it was back then, really. And so it's a good time to move the Sea Cadets now into up to the minute facilities.
I think so.
Give them something that heat and water and toilets and things that they deserve. You know,
you've got to go forward.
Hopefully, it'll attract more cadets.
Indeed, it should. Yes, I'm not sure what size the cadets are today, I haven't a clue, but
I think it's around 30 to 40
is it really?
cadets at the moment.
Well,
so,
I think on that Bridlington there's about 33 there
Yeah.
altogether, you know, and that was just the people that went there, you know.
Yeah. So hopefully we can attract a lot more and get them interested.
Indeed, yes. Let's keep it going.
Carry on the Sea Cadets into the future.
That's right. Excellent.
Right. Thanks, Dad. It's
No,
really good
pleasure.
talking about it.
Yeah, it's nice to go back in time.
Great. Thanks very much.
We want to ensure that Porthcawl Sea Cadets has a bright future and can go from strength to strength to continue providing a fantastic facility for the young people of Porthcawl and the surrounding area.